Cool. And I'm inviting my co-founder, Sachin, to our stage.
Hey everyone, can you hear and see me well? All good? Awesome, great. So yeah, welcome everyone. And today we are going to dive into an exciting topic, which is how to illustrate a book with AI in 2025. Right, so if you have ever felt intimidated by the idea of creating professional quality illustrations or thought of probably you thought that you needed to hire expensive artists to bring your stories to life, this session is for you, right? So I will show you how AI can transform your ideas into stunning visuals faster and get it done more affordably than ever, right? So we can do that right now. You don't need to be a designer or a tech expert or expert in AI to make any of this. With the tools we will explore today, you will discover how anyone can create powerful story visuals with just a bit of guidance. Let's quickly go through some basic logistics so that you know what to expect. First of all, this session is being recorded, and all the resources, including slides, links, and guides that are mentioned will be emailed to you within the next 48 hours. And during the session, appreciate if all of you can mute your microphone to ensure everyone can hear clearly. However, I would also love for you to engage. You can share your thoughts and insights or tips in the chat. Diana is here. She is very happy to answer your questions or like engage back with you within the chat room, right? And we will definitely have the Q&A and address any of the questions at the end. Yeah, finally, let's make this as interactive and as possible and fun experience for all of us, right? So with that, let's dive in. So Seth Godin is one of the most influential marketers and thinkers of our time. And he recently said AI is the biggest invention in our world and a bigger change than the internet, right? From the time of the internet, it's been super huge advancements that we have seen just in the past couple of years. If you have followed the news from the top tech giants, I believe we all can agree on this. The internet reshaped how we work, learn, and connect with each other. And right now, we have the potential to go even further by amplifying our creativity with AI and changing how we create, share, and experience our stories and share them with others along the way. And today, we'll see how this applies to visual storytelling. Here's a fascinating fact, which is the human brain processes visuals 60,000 times faster than text. And what does this really mean? It means that when you see an image, your brain understands the message almost instantly, while reading through the text takes more time and effort. Right now, with the attention economy that we are seeing, this is getting even more extreme. And this is why visuals are so powerful. They grab your attention and communicate emotions immediately. Now think about social media because we all want to have strong personal brand and communicate our ideas, right? So if your post doesn't have a compelling visual, people will just scroll past it. And we have experienced this. We post this every single day. We post on LinkedIn every single day, and we can see the impressions pretty much dropping when we try to make some experiments. It doesn't matter how beautifully you have written your message without a strong visual to stop users in their tracks, all that effort can go to waste. So this is what tells us like visuals make people pause, feel something, and they want to engage with you, right? When that happens. So that's the power of what AI really brings to you right now. Previously, it was super hard to create these visuals to go along with anything. The ability to create stunning visuals that captivate your audience and amplify your storytelling is currently possible. Now that you understand this, let's talk about how you can visualize your story. Imagine your main character, for example, you have a quick concept, an idea, you have a main character walking through a through a park in the fall while with the leaves falling around, right? So you want to really visualize this. So these images make your story come alive in your reader's mind. But turning these ideas into professional looking visuals used to be very expensive and time consuming. Just a simple story like this is pretty complicated to really visualize pretty quickly. That's where AI changes everything. You simply have to describe the scene, just the idea that you had, like a character, a location, or even an emotion, and the AI generates an image for you. It's like having a creative assistant who never gets tired while giving you super high quality visuals within seconds. And I mean it, right? We will take a look at this during the demo and you will see this happen. Creating AI illustrations starts with following a step-by-step process. For everything, especially when you're using AI tools, it's very important to, first of all, experiment, but then really build up a process and a system to get to your final objective or an outcome. Because otherwise, you will keep repeating with the same things, reinventing the cycle without achieving that level of productivity. So first, for example, you define your idea, like, for example, what's the story? What emotions do you want to evoke? What kind of scene do you want to show, right? So then you write your prompts that guide the AI. Prompts are just detailed instructions, like, for example, a young girl reading a book under a tree on a sunny day. The AI generates an image just based off this specific description. We'll talk about how to enhance your prompt, or like, for example, structure your prompt to make the visuals much more compelling. The next step is you refine the visuals to match your vision. For example, adjusting the action, the expression, adding details, or tweaking the composition. Um, don't worry about this. It sounds like a lot, but the tools make it super simple. I just wanted to show you the process that we can follow in a more structured manner to get to the final output. Once you have your story and prompts ready, it's time to bring your characters to life. So think about the details, like their features, like the hair, the eyes, the clothing, and the emotions, right? So are they happy? Are they sad? Are they surprised? So this really brings out a compelling visual. And next, you can decide on their actions. For example, are they walking, running, reading? And finally, you can place them in the right setting or the background. Example, in a park, in a library, or even like a magical forest, right? So it completely depends on your imagination, what story you're trying to tell, and where you want to place that character in the scene. This simple framework helps you guide AI to create consistent and meaningful visuals that align perfectly with your story. It's like building your character in a scene piece by piece, step by step, until they feel real and evoke those right emotions to the observer, or to the reader. Now, all that being said, consistency is one of the biggest challenges when illustrating a book with AI. Your characters need to look the same on every page. Imagine if your main character had red hair on one page and blonde hair on the next page, right? It would completely confuse the readers. So achieving consistency manually, for example, takes hours of effort, especially when showing characters in different actions like running, smiling, or reading. It's possible you can use, I mean, we have been using traditional methods, Procreate, Photoshop, to do all of these editing and tweaking, but it takes a hell lot of time to get those things done. And you need professionals to handle these tasks. Even today, with some of the best AI image generators like Midjourney, maintaining consistency across a story or multiple scenes is incredibly challenging. You might get one perfect image, but then the next image looks entirely different, right? So you might have experienced this if you're using Midjourney. If you even use similar props. Now, there are like other techniques where you can use character references, use multiple character references. This make it easier to some extent, but still it's not easy. There is a learning curve, and most of the time the results don't really match, and there are other variations that are happening. So you cannot really control, even though you have the same person's face. And this works really well if it's a photorealistic. When it's illustration, it's completely messed up. We have tried this several times. One alternative is training your own AI model with 10 images of your character. This is called as LoRa's, low rank adoptions. Let's not get into the technical stuff over here. By the way, if you have tried out LoRa's and training, you can just drop your thoughts within in the comments. I would love to check them out. But with LoRa's, with training an AI model with that particular character, the catch is you need 10 consistent images to start with to train the AI model. And this takes time, effort, and skill. And after all that, the results are not even good enough, right? So the frustration, um, this particular frustration of, first of all, creating those 10 characters and not getting the results has been a roadblock for creators for a very long time. And a lot of people, non-designers and someone who is new to AI, this is really one of the biggest challenges. And that leads us to the work we have been focusing on, which is we have been working on solving this problem for the past 8 months. We are trying to address a real creative gap here. By the way, a quick intro about us. I'm a creative technologist. I build AI-powered solutions, AI-powered visual content and creative solutions. You can think of me as an indie AI model hacker. It's just something cool or funny to use. But for Diana here is a creative AI consultant and an educator. And together, over the last 3 years, we have trained over 5,000 creative professionals across top brands. Now, that's Diana presenting our solution at an AI conference. We just launched it 2 months ago. And as part of these workshops that we have been talking about, in every single workshops we are providing, the same question kept coming up. How do we create consistent characters and tell cohesive story, right? Create those cohesive visuals in a simple step-by-step process without much complication. The truth is there is no AI solution that is truly designed for this specific need. And that's why we set out to build one. Our goal is to simply use a set number of processes to minimize the number of steps, simplify the entire process for creators like you to ensure your characters look maximum consistent across all poses, expressions, and setting without the headache of manually tweaking or model training, like I just talked. And we have been working on this solution publicly. We have been sharing every update along the way, and we are not stopping here. Beyond the tools that we have created, we also continue to share insights about the latest AI tools for visual storytelling and how to maximize their impact for your brand and for your projects, right? So you can connect with us on LinkedIn and say hello as we continue to share the latest developments in AI in 2025. After hearing so many creatives struggle with character consistency, we knew we had to start somewhere. When OpenAI launched the GPT store, we decided to test an idea, which is we built a tool called Consistent Character GPT. It was simple, it was a free solution, and this particular GPT would ask simple, basic questions to the user about the character and the description, like the features, emotions, actions, and then generated the character within ChatGPT, right? So using DALI integration. And you could use this simple workflow to tell your stories and create multiple images. At the same time, we had small audience back then on LinkedIn, and honestly, we didn't really think it would go anywhere. But to our surprise, it gained traction pretty quickly. We're super grateful for that one, and people loved its simplicity and the ease of use. What happened next was incredible, which is creators worldwide started using Consistent Character GPT to craft visuals for their stories and even create some short animations. And we get to see some of these animations, and we are like, this is absolutely amazing. It kind of became a go-to tool with top YouTube creators sharing tutorials and inspiring others to try it out. So this showed us that the tool has some potential. It wasn't perfect, right? There were quite a lot of flaws in it. Features were missing just because you cannot do a lot of things within ChatGPT, but it gave storytellers an accessible way to bring their ideas to life. And for many creatives, non-designers, it was kind of an exciting time and kind of a game changer in their workflow. It has now been used more than 600,000 times, and we have received countless emails from users, both giving us positive feedback for its simplicity, but also pointing its limitations, right? While many loved it, the feedback kind of highlighted there were quite a lot of areas for improvement. The quality wasn't there. It lacked some of the features users needed for more advanced storytelling. But this was kind of a blessing in disguise for us. It kind of helped us truly understand what people cared about and what they really wanted in this tool to use it every day. This was kind of the foundation for everything we have built since, and it got us to start working on the next standalone application, which was focused purely on this, which is the ConsistentCharacter.AI. It's been around 2 months, 2.5 months since we launched it. And Consistent Character AI is like having a personal illustration studio at your fingertips. So if you have a concept, you can pretty quickly illustrate it. So here is a wonderful example. This was done by Diana. Like she was working on some Harry Potter kind of character illustrations, and it turned out simply amazing when I took a look at it. She's a must read, creating some of these. You will see some cool examples on her profile as well. What makes this one special is that, first of all, it offers maximum consistency. Your character's face, clothing will look the same even across multiple scenes. Clothing is still, there are a couple of variations, but as you know, I keep saying this is the worst it could ever be, and it'll only get better from here. And we'll show this along in the demo. Second, it's convenient. So you don't need to spend hours writing complex instructions. The tool simplifies the process for you. By the way, we have just launched a new feature, which I'm going to show, which makes this super easy, because one of the biggest challenge was how do you translate your ideas into a good enough prompt that you can create a high quality visual. This is no more a challenge. We can do this in less than a couple of seconds. Finally, you are the one in control here. You can customize the character emotions, actions, and settings to match your story perfectly. Whether you're creating a children's storybook, illustrations, a graphic novel, or even a presentation, this tool is going to help you to bring your vision to life. So some of the examples for over here, which is you can create a character. First of all, you can describe the character, concept the character, great for concepting. If you don't really know what your character might look like, you can get that done here. Then you can start changing the action right within the same dashboard. And then you can also make multiple variations, like make that character change expressions, read a book. So you can start making this small variations and then start telling a story. Now, this ConsistentCharacter.AI isn't just for books, it's perfect for lessons, for presentations as well, right? So just with a few clicks, you can create visuals that instantly match your content. Like it can really make your content engaging based on whatever description is there. It can make it memorable. You can start visualize this thing pretty quickly. So whether you're teaching, storytelling, or presenting, this tool transforms how you connect with your audience, right? So there are multiple ways how you can make use of this every day. The dashboard, so this is a quick screenshot of the dashboard. It's designed to be super simple, not too many things going on around. Whether you're working on one scene or a whole, like just one image or a whole series of images, the dashboard kind of simplifies the process and keeps your creativity flowing, right? So you can always come back at a later point in time and continue from where you left. You might be wondering, does this work for non-human characters as well? This has been a very common question. And yes, it does. You can create anthropomorphic characters like animals, tell a story around an animal. So I think a lot of people are trying using the application and trying to tell these kind of stories, especially for children, educational materials. And this is something that is totally possible. And as you can see, whether it's like a talking cat, a heroic pig, for example, a pink pig over here, or any other imaginative character, right? This tool kind of makes it easy to create and maintain that consistency. All right, so with that, let's dive into the demo. Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm happy to answer the question which we have in the chat by Sheldon. If our app and AI in general can manage the illustration like in the profile image. Our app doesn't have such style. We do have 6 styles, if I'm not mistaken: Pixar, 3D, cartoon, 2D illustration, anime, photorealistic, and claymation. And we don't have such style. So the answer would be no. But I am sure that in case you're using some sketches, you can look for other AI image generators. It's important that the lines are very clear in order to work with AI. And you can use this image as a style reference to get the best results. What is the website URL? I will share it in the chat just in a second.
And we will share a complete guide as well, which tells you every single thing that you can do over here. Right? So what's the best way to use it? Some of the example prompts and what else you can do. So Diana has prepared a wonderful guide. We will share a link to that guide at the end. All right, cool. So can you see my screen? It's the dashboard of ConsistentCharacter.AI. All right, great. Um, First of all, what we are going to do is I'm going to share with you a couple of things over here. So as you see, this is a dashboard where whenever you sign in, whenever you come back to the application, you see all your previous generation and you can scroll through the content that you have created over here, right? So let's, for example, I can just click on one of this and you see all my generations are over here, right? So you can always come back and continue from where you left. So what you'll see here on the left side is these features, which is Prompt Easy, Character Turbo, Create Avatar, and Expression Editor. I'm going to demo you the Prompt Easy and the Character Turbo, and everything that's included in here is being described in the guide that we are going to share. Now, the first and the biggest challenge we realized after talking to a lot of users is that if you have an idea of a simple scene, it's very challenging to really turn it into a prompt that is really good to create a high quality visual. And that is what we wanted to solve as a first step. So we launched this as a brand new feature just as today. It's called Prompt Easy. So if you click on that, you will see that it is going to enhance your prompt for the best image generation, right? So we can type in here, for example, a very simple concept. Let's say a boy with red, messy hair, green sweater, and jeans, right? So that's my simple concept. Um, that's what my character should look like. And from here, I can go on like tell a story, maybe the background, lighting, expression, and action, and everything. But here, I just want to get started on what my character is going to look like. This is one of the things that you can do. just type your idea and click on Enhance Prompt, right? So now it's going to take that and turn it into a prompt that really captures a lot of details. So for example, within a couple of seconds, I got this particular output, which is a lively young boy with vibrant red tousled hair that catches the eye, stands energetically in a sunlit park, right? So it's now trying to add in more details about the character and about the surroundings. At this point, we can go ahead and start making changes. Like if you want to modify something, you can just start typing something else over there. If you want to change the color, if you want to change the outfit, you can do all of that. If you don't want to change the background, I just want to show you the process from start to the end. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and click on Create Character. Now I want to start generating the image. By the way, this prompt is a feature, is free for everyone. It's not any new user, anyone who's using can get to this. If you want to generate the image, that's when you are going to consume credits. So this is not consuming any credits. This is helping you bring your ideas and turning it into a much compelling prompt. So I'm going to click on Create Character. And what this does is it's going to take this prompt and use the Character Turbo. So let me just open this one. So Character Turbo is the second option. So as soon as you click on that, it directly takes you and fills up the prompt that you have used, right? So right now, I'm just going to go ahead, type Pixar animation style, right? So this was one of the questions. So what style do you have? You can choose from any of this style, right? And if you want to make those style more specific, just make sure the prompts that is describing over here is not tailored to a specific image, right? Because then you're contradicting in terms of the prompt is something else and the style you're looking for something else. Just make sure it's consistent. So that's it. I got my prompt enhanced within a couple of seconds, and I'm going to hit generate. Yep. There you go. I have a wonderful animation, right? So wonderful image. Let's try that once again. So if you want to try something else, you can always remove this fixed character. If you want to iterate on it, you can remove this. And then it's just like any other AI image generator, right? If you type in the prompt and you rerun, you're going to get different images. If you don't like this, you can remove the fixed character and rerun it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the same thing and you see how fast it is right from the beginning, right? The second thing, by the way, the second thing I wanted to show is image to prompt. So if you have an image and you want to understand what are the prompts that you want to generate from it, like what are the prompts that will describe it, you can just click on image to prompt, click on the image. It's going to analyze the image and fill up the prompt for you. Right? So the image is a portrait of a young man standing in front of a large window. We are using one of the best vision models over here. So it's gonna really scan the image and also present if there are any specific details within the image, apart from the character, you're gonna see it over here. So let's go ahead and try this one. Enhance prompt. I got this one. I go to create character. I pick the style. I hit generate. Yeah, there you go. So I have my first illustration, and you see how fast it was right from the beginning, from your idea to generating your first image, right? So now we want to start creating some variations, right? We want to start telling a story. What we can do is the best practice usually is to within this prompt, we have to divide this particular prompt into action and expression and background, right? Because this prompt is detailing absolutely everything. And if you want to make those changes, you have to divide those into these sections. So let's do that exercise. Here it says a young boy with tousled crimson hair reflecting the warm glow of the afternoon sun stands confidently in casual outdoor setting. So what I can do is in a casual outdoor setting is my background, right? So I can add it over here. So I'm just showing, you can turn it into a better sentence if you like. I'm just showing you the process of how to make that happen as part of this. So stands confidently. So I'm going to remove that and I'm going to paste that over here. He stands confidently. Let's say the boy, right? Because we know it's better to give the AI model the context throughout the prompting. Reflecting. So this is also describing the background. I'm going to add that over here. Now, if you see this particular section is purely for describing the character. And this is the structured approach that you can take to make sure you can differentiate and make those variations much more easily. So describe the character, you're only going to put in the details over here, which is describing what the character looks like and what outfit the character is wearing, right? So a young boy with tousled crimson hair is wearing a vibrant emerald green sweater that complements his lively expression, paired with faded denim jeans that show signs of playful adventures. Now the rest is background. The backdrop is sunlit park. I can all put this in here. The scene conveys a sense of youthful freedom and joy, soft lighting, everything about the background and lighting, you can put it in the end, right? So I'm going to remove that and I'm going to add that over here. Great. So we have this one. So we have this one now categorized. It describes the character. The action and expression is the boy stands confidently and the background is in here. So we have made that step. Now let me just generate this particular image again, right? Because we have redistributed and see the image. By the way, these live demos are always tricky. Sometimes AI behaves in unexpected manner. That has happened with Midjourney demos that we have been doing. So fingers crossed. Yeah, there you go. We have the second image, right? So we have it very well keeping that level of consistency. Now let's say I want to make a variation. I don't worry about my describe the character because this is the character that I want to keep consistent. So I'm going to keep it the same way. Maybe I want to keep the background as well the same. I don't want to change it, right? So I'm keeping the rest of the same. Let's say I want to add a quick addition over here. Let's say I want to create the boy and he's giving a thumbs up and I want to see what happens. So I'm going to type that over here, giving a thumbs up, hoping type that without any mistake, giving a thumbs up. All right. And the rest is the same. Giving a thumbs up, the boy stands confidently. Everything else is the same. So I'm just making small changes, but I also need to make sure it's not contradicting anything. So I don't need, if I have in my original prompt over here that he is doing something else with his hands that conveys it, then you're kind of contradicting, right? So just make sure your prompts in the different fields are not contradicting each other. There you go. So I got my second image giving a thumbs up, right? And by the way, you can just crawl through the history. Whatever you're done, it's all being populated over here. In the beginning, we just used this one single prompt. In the second one, we divided it, action and expression. The boy stands confidently. The background, as we separated them. Now we have giving a thumbs up, the boy stands confidently, right? And we have this. So it's very important to follow these steps, like make small changes, make sure the prompts are not contradicting each other, and that way you will get very good results. Now, let's say I want to make him read a book, right? So he's reading a book and he's not giving a thumbs up. In the next scene, he's reading a book. So I'm just going to replace that and see what happens, right? He is the boy. I would like to be very specific. The boy um, is reading a book. All right, there you go. Let's see what's going to happen. And by the way, in terms of when you're using AI, there is always a level of iteration that you have to do. And if you have been using any other AI image generator, even the top AI image generators like Midjourney, Ideogram, right? So these tools are built on top of the philosophy that creative ideation is always about iteration. So just by typing one thing, and just expecting it to give the results right away is probably not the right approach. So you should be open to iterate and build upon certain things to be able to get the final results. I'm showing you over here one of the ways to how I do it on getting the most out of this. And based on how we have designed this application, right? So there you go. I have the kid reading a book now. And you can see it over here in the prompt. The boy is reading a book. The boy stands confidently. So this way you can go ahead and keep iterating. You can keep adding different layers of action, expression, right? So this, as you see, the field is about action and expression. You can make modifications to the background. Just make sure your character is described is this field is just about describing the character, and then you can freely make modifications to this and then make those variations. Yeah, I would love to see, give me a thumbs up if everything here is clear. All right.
I would request to try out to change the background if possible to show that it can be a different scene.
Yeah, all right. So let's do that.
How
That
about the library or the room background?
in all right, in
And in the meantime, we do have a question from Joey. Is this a print resolution? Do you have to use more credits to get higher imagery? No, it uses 4 credits for each image generation, and the quality is quite high, so you don't have to use extra credits to upscale it. What about
yep. So
fingers?
the
6
resolution.
and yeah, please.
Yeah, sorry. The resolution is 2K resolution. Each of this image, it's pretty high quality. If you want to print it out and make, I know the print resolution is 300 dpi. Of course, if the dimension is higher, and if you want 300 pixels within per inch, you might need to upscale it with an AI upscale software. We want to implement that within our application. And we will do this in the next updates. But right now, uh, the our focus is purely being how to make it the best to achieve consistency, right? So once we tackle that, um, we will be adding these upscale and enhancing features for the images. Right now, there are other AI models where you can just upload the image and enhance the model. I would recommend using Topaz AI. It's one of the best softwares if you're serious about upscaling and creating like 8K resolution, even 16K resolution. It's called Topaz Gigapixel. they have multiple solutions for this. All right, so
And while we are generating, there are a lot of questions about the fingers. And unfortunately, this is one of the limitations that you may face with AI image generators. And in this sense, our app is one of the latest models, but it's still not perfect. And there might be a situation when there are too many fingers. In this case, we would recommend to regenerate the image. If the issue still occurs, you can use tools like Canva and just delete the element, one element, and it blends really, really well. And Canva is an AI-powered tool. It's free. You can use it to remove the background effortlessly, or remove some element, or maybe change and edit the element of the image that you don't like. We are solely focusing on the consistency. And we are looking forward to implementing also downloading the images with the transparent background. But at the moment, this is one of the AI limitations. So if you see too many fingers, it's AI. You just
why
have to
not?
find the solution.
Why not show how to really do that in Canva? I can do a quick demo how I would tackle this, right? In fact, I mean, this is a very commonly known issue with AI models. There is nothing you can do about it right now. The only thing that's possible is as we see the updates in the AI models, and this happens also with Midjourney, right? Some of the images have multiple fingers, and it's better. 1 year ago, it was horrible. It's better now. And again, like I keep saying, this is the worst it'll ever be. It'll only get better from here. I can just show very quickly how you can really use Canva. It's like a couple of seconds that you can modify this. So let's say I upload this image.
You can also upscale the resolution right here in Canva as well.
Yeah, I would just go to, you can also do background removal, right? So by the way, we will also introduce background removal within our application. It's the next update that's coming along. So I would just go to Magic Eraser. Let's try this out. It's gonna be a fun exercise. So I can reduce the brush size, just do that and erase. Again, fingers crossed. Yeah, there you go, it's gone. Right, so I wouldn't really worry about tiny details that are not working. I would rather focus on the overall image and the scene. Is it really conveying? Because the tiny details you can always take care of later, right? This is already giving you 95% of the results that you need. The last 5% is something that you can always edit, and it takes only a couple of minutes to get that done. All right, so with that, I think we had another demo, which is.
We have not generated the room background yet.
Oh,
So
yeah.
let's show how it's possible to change the scene.
So I just typed here in the background, inside a library, bookshelves in the background. Now we should know that a lot of has been changed within the prompt. And as I said, it's important to change take it step by step and make one small change at a time. But here we are controlling a whole lot of things, right? We changed the entire huge prompt that we had, and that changes the way AI model is going to work. So I wouldn't do that right away. What I would do is I would probably start adding more details or create a different, start a new block where I can start modifying that, right? So that's the way I would use it. And the next thing I can do is I can simply remove the background from here. Similarly, in Canva, I can just click on this, remove the background, generate a new background, and add that over here, right? So my background is gone. I can create a library background and add that in here. We have another demo while this is generating. Let me show that to you. There you go. So we have here multiple scenes. Also, the background is changing, and you will know how you can tell a story. Here we are directly starting with the character turbo, right? We have not used prompt easy because we didn't have that when this demo was recorded. So I'm describing the character over here, changing the style, adding expression, action, pose, just typing happy, and you can see how simple it is to get started. So I have the first image. Now you can start making variations. I don't change anything else in the prompt. I'm just adding one new thing, which is happy running, park background, right? So now I can start making changes. It's very important to make modifications step by step rather than making a huge step change. So I have him happy, I have him running, and I have the park background. Now let's say he's reading a book and it's a room background. Yeah, there you go.
We do have a question in the chat from Dominic. Does the generation of a new image cost for credits? Yes, the generation in Character Turbo and creating avatar feature, which is another feature that we are having, costs each credits each. But in case you're using expression editor, which we will also talk about, it uses just 2 credits. Every image is straight on. Can you do another angles? If you will define side view, then you can do another angles. All depends on your prompt.
Yeah, it depends on your prompt, and you gotta experiment a bit. If you're looking for a perfect character turnaround, that's not gonna happen. There will be you need to. The best way to use this is use it in a context of storytelling. Instead of typing prompts like um, it's the character is one like 2/3 turnaround, like it's a turntable character sheet. Um, I think that's not the right approach when using this particular application. We need to place the whole thing within a context. So it's important to let's say if you want a 1/3 scene, just try to imagine what is the context where you want that scene and provide that in the prompt. Use the prompt enhancer to define that what the prompt might look like. So maybe in that particular view, he is doing some action, right? So it's part of a storytelling. That's when it works really well. So a pure character turnaround is something not possible, and I would recommend not to think of creating the characters that way and then starting to add new things. Always put it in a context of a story. All right. Stop sharing.
Thank you so much, Sachin, for the demo. In case we have questions, I think it's a Q&A time now, so feel free to unmute yourself, raise your Zoom hand, and also share your questions in the chat. We are happy to cover those. We have more features available for creatives to play with, but we have today demoed the features which are aligned with the topic, how you can bring your story to life and illustrate your book super easy in 2025. So happy to share more insights in case you have questions about consistent character AI or in general about image generation. We will wait for a few minutes in case there are no questions. We'll just go ahead and experiment with the tool ourselves. I just wanted to let you know that the link to the guide where you can search for more demos is available in the chat. I can also share it once again. Just give me a second. And the tool has the new feature, which we have implemented just recently yesterday. And that feature is called Prompt Easy. It's free. In case you're working with AI image generators, it will be helpful for your workflow. Please go ahead and give it a try.
If there are no
Excellent
questions,
demo on the product. Thank you so much.
awesome. I was just experimenting with the library scene, and I can show you one of the results.
In the meantime, I would love to cover the question, can you generate multiple characters? Yes, you can generate different characters, but each character in the separate chat, and then use those images to combine them in your storytelling. It is possible to visualize few characters in the same image, but at that point of time, AI model is losing on consistency. And we would recommend to do them separately because you want to have different kind of angles and story and actions for probably both of them, and then use Canva, for example, to combine them, or any other tool that you are comfortable working with.
Yeah. So it does, like, for example, I can tell in the next scene, I can say this kid is walking with his dog, right? Instead of he's reading a book, he's walking with his dog. And we just saw an example from the previous demo. So those kind of images are possible. But if you're expecting two characters to be perfectly consistent every single time, I don't think that's going to work out. There is no AI model today that can really do that. It's not possible with any tool right now, but we can see something like this in the next 6 months. So I would highly recommend when you're using this one, always focus on, or not just this one, any AI image generator, right? Focus on creating one single subject or a character. Um, if you want to create just one image with multiple characters, you can do that with this. But if you want to tell a story and keep that consistent, then it quickly starts breaking down. Just wanted to walk you through a quick experiment I did over here. So here, like I said, this was the background, and we wanted to change it to a library background, right? Now, when I change the entire thing, I just remove the whole thing and I turn it into a library background. What happens is the AI model simply loses context um, of, of, of the image generation. And we got to preserve that. So the best way to approach it is only replace the words that is going to um, that is contradicting the background. So what I did is I did not just say inside a library and bookshelves in the background and just left it at that. I still kept the rest of it. Inside a library, the backdrop is a library. The scene conveys a sense of youthful freedom, which is exactly the same thing over here. So I just replaced a couple of keywords. So this way you can experiment, and really finally it's all about telling a story, right? So whenever if you place the character in a specific context and describe that context and make small variations, you're going to get much higher quality results and much more consistent results than doing it any other way. But you can go ahead and experiment and explore what's truly possible. Finally, it is about experimenting with different methods. I hope that was super helpful, and I wanted to walk through one of the demos and show you what's the best way, and probably use simple tools like Canva, where you can edit the tiny details, which is totally possible right now.
And we have the feedback. The demo was very nice and informative. Thank you for the demo. I love the session. I learned new things. I'm a fan of your creative work. Thanks to arrange this kind of session. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure. We had a question in the chat. Could you recommend a tool to keep the image consistency in the video? Honestly, I'm using our tool to keep consistency in the video. And the way to do so is to use option 1, character turbo, and prompt with the little change, and use first image as a first frame and second image as a second frame, and use tools for AI animation like Kling or Runway, which have the capability of using the first and the second and the third even frame in the runway.
Yeah.
And that way to keep the consistency in AI animation. So I would highly recommend our tool for this in terms of the consistency in works. And also our tool supports not only Pixar style, but photorealistic style, like we could see previously. Thanks. Wonderful. Can we get the consistency in the backgrounds? Yes, if this is one of the plan from the start, you can do this. Of course, all depends on the prompt. You can, for example, skip the prompt easy part and gain more consistency in the background by prompting what do you want to see and what kind of changes and what kind of angles you would like in the process by itself. Thank you, Sachin and Diana. Looking forward to having more sessions. This is wonderful. And we are on time. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We are looking forward to your feedback about our tool and super curious what kind of stories you will create with this. I'm inviting you to give it a try and feel free to share your stories and tag us on LinkedIn. We are happy to repost and inspire other creatives to tell their stories in 2025 and create their books. We have a lot of educators who are following us, and without any design experience or complex prompting, they're capable of bringing those stories to life. I'm every day reading in Support Consistent Character AI stories and just cry. And right now, seeing one of those as well. So thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that this solution is helpful for you and you have learned something as well from us and from this demo. AI will be evolving. It's the perfect time to get a little more skills to use it as your assistant. And I would love to leave you with this inspiring feeling that you can go and find and try something new today. So looking forward to your feedback. Enjoy your weekend. Try our tool and feel free to reach out with more questions to me or to Sachin via the LinkedIn.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. It was a pleasure, and have a good day, good evening, good night. Thank you so much. Bye.